that are not able to be in. But guys, welcome, welcome. I'm so excited to kick off this 8 week New Year challenge. To me, this is the most exciting time of my year-long journey to get to coach you guys when I feel like the momentum is the highest at the beginning of the year. I feel like that's where everybody is really focused. You also had the time to give your body a break and recover. Most people, I see a lot of teachers on the call. You had that time to recover, and now it's like, oh gosh, we're getting back in the groove. I need my energy. Definitely want some accountability. Um, so that is what we're aimed to do. So I really want to set out what the vision is for this New Year challenge. Go ahead and put how many challenges you've done with Flex so far in the chat. So how many challenges have you done with us so far? If you can remember three or four, love that. Zero, good. I think we have a couple of new challengers here. I know there's several that are not on here, but I really want you guys to see, as we've been doing this, you have some people that have not done this, you have some that have. I'm going to do things a little bit different this time. Okay, so one, kicking off with a Zoom is because my most important mission of this year and vision is to not just have a flex community where we keep to ourselves, but we really share what we're doing around Greenwood, around Abbeville, around McCormick, whatever your area might be, but around this local area, I want to show everyone how different we are. I want our results, our energy, our attitude to literally transcend amongst our workplaces, whoever our friend groups are, no matter who we're talking to, is really live by our own example, by each of our examples, and show just how simple this journey can be. That really, if you look outside, if you go through your social media page, if your algorithms are set like me, you're seeing nothing but the quick fixes and every single diet and every single exercise program. I'm telling you guys, if you're one of them, then you're right with the crowd. If you're not, then you're the exception. But most every single person is confused as all get out. Okay. And so it is my goal to take that confusion out of this mess and really bring it to the basics. I love the ones that have been with me doing challenges for the longest time. Like, Courtney on here has been doing them for 8 years now, I guess a little bit less, maybe 5 years. But I've been leading these and doing the exact same thing. So before I started Flex 4 years ago, I still had the same mentality. I have not wavered. And if you've been in Flex recently, you've seen thousands and thousands of InBodies that I've been doing over the past 4 years with Flex, but even longer before that. And there's a couple of simple things that you have to key in on, and we're really going to capitalize on that. And where I want you guys work is I really want you to work hard at the fundamental layer that we never address, which is community. We need community. We need each other. We need to lean on each other. And you absolutely have to trust that there is a system that you're not an exception for. Okay, that this works for everyone. So a couple of things that I want to get out of the way are some things that you'll probably have questions about. I will say just save your questions to the end. I'm just going to fly through my notes and fly through the things that I really want you to hear from me and make sure that, hey, if nothing more, even if you've done a bunch of challenges, if you've never done one, there are some key things that I want you to commit to and stick to for this challenge that we're going to do for 8 weeks. Nothing I do should be for a temporary period of time, meaning we are not trying to fast diet ourselves. This is not going to be a diet. It's also not extreme exercise. I'm asking for a basic 3 fundamental days of lifting weights using progressive overload. Okay. With the weights, here's what's going to happen because some of you are doing 3 days, some of you are doing 4, some of you are doing 5. I don't think anybody on this call is doing 6. Okay. So with that said, you're going to have 3 foundational days in your lifts. Okay. 3 that most everybody here knows. I have a couple of brand new people and y'all are on a different schedule. I'm still going to be working with you. But for the most part, everyone's been in and been doing the lifting programs. Your 3 days are going to be very foundational, meaning you need to get those in. Those need to be big checks. So right now, if you have a calendar around you or if you have a list that you're making for this call, I want you to put down, I want to know when the 3 days are that you're going to be lifting. You're going to go on your calendar inside of Trainerize. Courtney, is it okay if I share your chart here? Um, so we're going to go on to, let me get this up. Courtney, and I'm going to show you what this looks like. So if I go to Courtney's chart, let me go over here. You have a calendar feature inside of your app. Okay. On that calendar feature, what I love is you can see everything laid out. Okay. We see everything all here. So Courtney, starting tomorrow, she's going to go into the workout section and she's going to select from her program. You see there's no program here. Most of y'all's will look like this because your program will not be in there until tonight. I think I have it scheduled for like 7, 8 o'clock. I don't remember, but I wish I would have pushed that up. I can't change it now. But when you do, you'll have this here. You're going to choose one of the workouts. So at the end of going through your week, you're going to see your Monday program here, your Wednesday program here, your Friday. And then if you want to do the extra days, the 2 extra days, you're going to go ahead and schedule them in. One key point of making sure that you get your weights in is scheduling them. One key way to make sure that you get your food in is to prep your food. Okay, so one thing that we're really going to make sure we do during these 8 weeks is we're going to be proactive. The weekends are going to turn into your planning time. All right, most everybody on this call is like me. We work during the week. We have a little bit lighter of a schedule during the weekend. We're going to use the weekend to prep for the week. The only reason you're not going to come in the gym is because you just didn't see your week in advance. Okay, that's most everybody's problem. And I want you to see the week in advance because you've got 3 hours. There's no doubt, everybody on this call, you've got 3 hours to give. Okay, so I don't want you to get overwhelmed. It gets overwhelming when you've had a very busy day and you're real tired, and then you've got to muster up the energy to go in the gym. Your, pardon my French, your bitch voice is going to go off and it's going to say, no, I'm too tired. I don't want to do this. And so you're going to go, I'll go in tomorrow instead. And Mondays turns into Tuesday. And then we kind of get on a roll because you might be cleansing with us. And I'll talk about that in a little bit. You might be cleansing on Wednesday. Well, you not going on Monday might mess up your week where you don't really want to work out on your cleanse day. Well, now we're already in a predicament. Okay. And what we're going to do here in this challenge is we're going to stay away from guilt, from fear, from shame. And the only way that we don't shame ourselves is if you schedule out and you plan ahead. Okay. So that's going to be the weights. The deal with the other 2 days. The optional 2 days are either you want a workout that's a little bit different than your foundational workout. Because these 2 days, these extra 2 days, meaning I'm going to give you 5 workouts. 3 you have to do. 3 are going to be foundational. 2 are either going to be part of your 5-day series because you're working out 5 days, or they're going to be optional. Time to get better at form, time to work a little extra body part. Maybe you just want to put an extra workout in, or you might some weeks want to trade your main workout for an extra just because you want it exciting. I am going to be trading those 2 workouts every week, every 2 weeks, just to keep it exciting, to keep it interesting, to give you a little caveat, to maybe work on some additional weight workouts without hurting your results. Okay, because the 3 foundational days is what we need. So I want you to see that sometimes you can switch these up, but all of them will have progressive overload. Okay, so we're all on the same page. Y'all give me like a nod. You get that you're going to get 3 days of lifting. Okay, those are 3 foundational days. And then you have 2 that are just going to be hanging out on the side. You can either pull them in and take the place of one of your 3, or you can use it in additional 2. Okay. People that do 5 workouts versus 3 will get more points. That's just going to be the way that it works out. You're going to get more points for more lifting. However, this does usually balance out. typically people don't just sell on because we're also giving points for food and habits and things like that. So there are other ways that you can keep yourself up on the leaderboard. Okay. I'm barely talking about leaderboard because y'all know I really don't give a crap. It's just fun to look at ourselves on the leaderboard. Like it's fun to see your name because it's you versus you. I really don't care at the end of the day that, that Karen's on top of Kelly and whatever. I did it doesn't matter because they're not features that I want. I didn't make the app when it comes to the challenge. If I did, then I would probably put some more caveats, but we're just going to roll with it. The other thing, so what we have right now are the weights. The other big thing that most people are challenged with, and we have not been focusing on, but we have to because it's the beginning of the year, and a lot of us have inflammation from the holidays. Most everyone I met with is freaking out, thinking that you screwed yourself over the holidays and all results are gone and it's the end of the world. And you realize, oh, wait, I didn't do that much damage because Heather's helped me, or Courtney or Angel or Michael has helped me get into a spot where I understand metabolic flexibility. And so I didn't damage my body as much as I think. Okay. But the key to never ever freaking out on holidays ever again is to get that protein up. We have got to protein pace together. All right. Protein pacing is nothing more than planning from the beginning of the day to the end of the day. You need protein, and then you need to let your body have a break. And then you need protein, and then you need to let your body have a break. Protein, let your body have a break. We do not need to snacky snack as much. Teachers, listen to me. We do not need to snacky snack our way through the beginning of the morning to 11 a.m. We cannot do that. Okay. No coffee snack, no anything. And I said teachers, but I'm talking to all of y'all. Y'all are all smiling because it's not limited to a profession. We all do this. If you wait till 11 o'clock to eat that first meal of protein, I'm telling you, the whole day is going to be off. There's no way to get in 120 to 180 to 210 grams of protein all before 9 p.m. if you're not eating before 11 a.m. Shake your heads. Let me know I saw you. See me when I'm saying we've got to eat within the first hour of waking up. I think I told you all that, but that's where I see the biggest mistake. So we're going to eat within the first hour of waking up, and not one excuse that goes through your head that tells you that you're right, that you might need to skip some calories because you drank that wine the night before is going to work. We are not going to punish our bodies for what we do the night before. Okay, we're going to take it one day at a time. And every day you have to get up and listen to me in your head and go, shoot, Heather told me I got to eat. So I got to have something prepped. I got to be there, because if you can get the morning right, you change your breakfast, you will change your life, and you'll change those habits. And we don't need to overcomplicate that. And I don't need any reel or any influencer or any propaganda coming in and telling you otherwise. They are wrong. I am right. Okay. So we're going to protein pace. The other thing we're going to do is we're going to give our digestion a break. So part of protein pacing is eat and then let your digestive tract clean that up and work through it. So we need a clear break. That's why you having snacky snacks on your desk or within your realm or in the teacher's lounge or whatever, that's why that's a problem. Not because you need to eliminate all the things in life. It's just because it's so easy to grab. And so you grab it when you're bored. You don't grab it when you're hungry. Okay. Now I'm going to carry that on because Kelly's going to grab. She's going to be like, wait, but I wasn't hungry for that meal. But Kelly, we eat when we're not hungry, right, girl? We eat
Yes.
when we're not hungry because we are teaching our bodies something that you haven't taught it before, which is metabolic flexibility. Some of you know what I'm talking about because you're working so hard to get there. I've talked about this a lot on my story and on my page, how you've got to be in the right frame to be dieting. You've got to be in the right body and the right mindset to be dieting. So if you are trying to cut pounds, lose weight, the first thing we've got to think about is we've got to have your calories in a good spot to do that. Now, if you've been eating like a total butthole for the past 2 months, we're in a great position because you've been overeating and we can easily make a cut. And then there's others of us like me who constantly accidentally skip meals here, skip meals there, and we're never skipping the carbs or the good things. We skip the protein because the protein is hard to get in when you're not prepping it. Okay? So again, how do we stay out of shame and guilt? You've got to prep your food and be ready to have protein throughout every single day. If you have a career or a job like mine where you're go, go, go during the week and you never slow down, then you need to prep a whole week's of food. Today, I prepped 2 weeks of food because my next 2 weekends are so busy that I will have zero time in front of an oven, a pot, whatever. I know that. I don't have another Sunday for the rest of the month to prep my food. So I have 2 weeks. 1 week's in the refrigerator, 1 week is in the freezer. Okay. That can be a whole nother meeting for us if you need help with that. But it is as easy as it sounds. So if you just got a little overwhelmed, I'm using that word in quotes because we don't get overwhelmed, right? We don't get overwhelmed. But if you just got a little crazy there when I was like, I did 2 weeks, and you're going, how in the world? It's because I didn't get any more than 2 protein sources at the grocery store. I didn't prep any more carbs except for some sweet potatoes and some rice and some sourdough. I make 2 loaves a week. I didn't have anything else with my fats except for my oils and my sauces. Okay. And then I've got some Brazil nuts to help my thyroid.
My door. Where you in, Boo?
Let me mute Denise there. So I've got some things to really add on. Now, what that looks like for me this week is I have a whole bunch of meats. I've got a bunch of chicken and a bunch of turkey ready to go for whatever I want at dinner. Sometimes I want a turkey burger. Sometimes I want chicken fried rice. Dinner time, I've got a little bit more time. But for my daytime, because I'm so busy, I've got it container made. My rice with my turkey and my veggies are all mixed together. Okay, I've got my turkey with my burger. I've got my sourdough bread with my protein shake contents. Okay, I've got that ready to go. Now, I'm not spending time here because my macros are not your macros. And when I say macros, I'm talking macronutrients, meaning protein, carbs, and fat. We need all of them to make a balanced meal. And now that the government's on the same page with me, finally, after 15 years of saying the stupid food pyramid is turned the wrong way, we've now flipped it. So now you guys know that we need all of these contents to make a good meal, with protein being the most important, as it should have been. Okay. So we are going to prioritize that. If your problem is prepping food, do not wait until week 4 when we're doing our midway check-in to go, oh, I just really need help with meal prep. We're on this call right now because I'm going to figure out by the end of the call what's on your mind. What are you fearing most? What can we work out? What can we make sure that we've worked out and talked through so that you don't get left behind with your own self? And what I would like to avoid is the criticism that you give to yourself, not because you're not disciplined enough to follow through, just because you didn't prepare the things that you need to prepare to have the action behind your words. Our words are often let us down when we say something because motivation makes us say, oh yeah, I want this challenge. I want the accountability. I want this to be for me. And where we fail ourselves is because we don't do the actions to make sure that you're able to do that. Okay? Now, there's some things on the back end that I've done for you. I've met with almost everyone. Some of you, I have not done your initial check-in yet, but I've met with almost everyone. And I've looked at every single one of your macros. I have treated you each as individuals, not as a group challenge. This is not a cookie cutter set of standards. This is literally you versus you. This is your journey. This is something that you can be accountable to. So you can't say, well, she has my protein at 150, but I don't think that's right. That's right. That's 30 grams of protein 5 times a day. I got it right. You need to get it in. And if you start to go in there and track your food and you see that you're only at 80 grams of protein, you might need a little help of where to put that protein in. Okay? If you're only at 80. Now, there's no way of knowing how much protein if you've never tracked food or you've never put food into an app. You're not going to know that. I think everybody that I'm looking at here, pretty much, I'm pretty sure you guys know how to track food. Okay, give me a yes. Yes, I know. We are not going to listen to society and the environment that's out in our environment that says that that's obsessive or that's crazy or you're just, how can you keep that up for the rest of your life? Those are all naysayers, and they're a little jealous because you're doing something that they don't feel they can do. That's the psychology of it. But getting past it, we need to all nod our heads that we're on board with tracking our food. Here's the other thing. I'm coaching a lot of you. Okay. With that said, if you really want help with coaching, you're going to need to track food because if I can't go and see what there is going on if you're not putting anything in there. And I'm going to give you the coach's cheat. Here's how we talk about you behind your back. It's always good. But it's literally, if you're not tracking, I promise you're not on. Your problem is going to be your food. If you're not tracking, because y'all all know, give me an affirmative here. If you're tracking, it's because you're on point and you're proud of yourself. So you're plugging that stuff in there. Okay. The times we need to track the most are the times where you feel like you're in control. Like the weekend comes, I've got more time, so I don't need to track. Almost always you are going to undereat. And here's how I'm going to motivate you. If you chronically undereat and we don't get that protein, we're never going to get that metabolic flexibility. You're going to be looking at me going, how does that girl eat so much? And she's just putting on muscle and not fat. What's she doing? Well, what she's doing is she's tracking even in the times it's most uncomfortable. Even in the times where I'm most disappointed in myself because I've done something, I'm going to track it. Because how do we get out of disappointment or a low level of consciousness? We become aware. We just need to get to the middle level of consciousness, which is awareness. Okay. And I'm talking pretty deep to you guys because I don't get to talk like this all the time to you. But we need awareness around what we're doing because it typically, always, not even typically, always, it does not take perfection. Our bodies know routines. It doesn't know days. It knows periods of time. And so we have to teach it and train it, and we have to treat it better than we've been treating it most of our lives, based off of how we thought things were supposed to go. So I don't want to hear anybody talk about this challenge and be like, I'm in a diet. Okay? Nobody here is in a diet. We're not dieting. You're eating according to what your body needs. So we've got to change our language and how we're talking about it. Okay? I'm going to move off of food now. I'm going to go into the check-ins. You have a beginning check-in. I'm going to say this. I need you guys to listen because I do those check-ins pretty fast. I move swift. And between all of us working together to get your check-in, me, Angel, Courtney, Michael, between all of us, I might have missed something. In your initial check-in, I should have gotten an in-body scan. I should have gotten measurements. If you're a female, I should have gotten your waist and your hips. If you're a male, I should have gotten your chest, your waist, your hips. I should have also gotten you into the Trainerize app and made sure that your macros are good for the start of this challenge. Some of you, a lot of you, got feedback from me saying, hey, I need you to go track 3 to 5 days of food so that we're very specific about where your body is right now. Okay, so if that was you, then you're sending me a message midweek this week and saying, hey, I got those food days in. Will you go double look at my chart and make sure my macros are in the right spot? If you've never tracked, please don't try to be perfect to your macros. Please just go in there and do whatever you do daily so we can see what your typical day is before fitting you into macros. And I'll be even more detailed here. There's a chance I have you too low or too high. Please don't go 4 weeks where we could have dialed that in more specifically and we can be spot on. Okay. With that said, I'm going to tell you, the best results I've seen at the end of a challenge are those that are just consistent, nowhere near perfect. I haven't had anyone winning a challenge because they've been perfect, nowhere near. It's just those that do the basic things of keep an eye on your food by tracking, make sure you're hitting your protein goal, lift 3 days a week. Okay. Those that do that are usually winning this challenge or getting dang near the top 5. You're doing remarkable. Okay. So we want to be realistic about that and go off of that. Okay, so that was the beginning check-in. You also had your pictures made. If you do not have pictures in the chart, I don't care how much you despise pictures, you're going to love it when we take them because it is a way that if the scale is just teetering a little bit for you and we see that measurements are different and the pictures are different, that is going to motivate the crap out of you. Okay. And yes, I share transformation pictures a lot. I don't share anyone's journey without your permission. Okay, those pictures are between you and I. The reason I force you into the app is because I never take anything without permission. And it is just between you and I, but it is a major coaching tool. And that way I can get you away from just looking at the scale because the scale is a big fat liar. The scale tells you nothing. If you don't know how to read the scale and you don't know and you're not doing it daily on an empty stomach at the same day every morning, the scale is a liar. But if you would like to be educated about what the scale's reading, track it every morning. Track that weight every morning. You don't need to do that. That's not a part of the challenge. But if you want to learn it, then learn it and have awareness around it so that you quit going back to your old way of always beating yourself up because of what the scale says when you look at the scale once every month or once every 2 months. That's ridiculous. Okay. So the check-ins will be the pictures, the InBody, the measurements, and then making sure that we have everything in your app the way it should be. You're going to have the beginning check-in, which should already be done, but we do have a couple of lingerers that are still need to get in this week. Then we have a Midway check-in. Let me get the date of that for you. The Midway will be the week of February 4th. I will be giving a whole week just like I did this time, and that way I try to get a time that's conducive for you. Then the final week will be a week of check-ins, and that's the March the 7th, the week of March the 7th. Okay, so we have a beginning, we have a middle, we have an end. You have to make the check-ins to be qualified for the end. Okay, to be qualified for winnings, you have to make the check-ins. Again, I go above and beyond to accommodate schedules, so please, please, please get yourself into those check-ins when I put them out. The other thing, you should have given $10 cash. Y'all know every bit of that goes back out to the winner. The last time I did t-shirts, if I do t-shirts again, it'll be out of the goodness of my heart. It will not be coming out of the $10 that you did. I try to keep that bare minimum. It's like your point of entry, but I like it to all go out because who doesn't like cash on top of a good prize? As far as the just the parameters, I want to just make sure I'm going down my notes, make sure I got this. Training details, we already got that. Nutrition, the habits, your steps. You will have a step goal as your habits. I'd like to get that specific to you. If you look on your averages, most people have wearable technology, some still don't, but you know about how much you're moving every day. I want to challenge you with taking that up by 2,000 steps. Okay. So for me, my goal is 10,000 steps a day. My typical is around 7 or 8,000. When I'm challenging myself and I'm being very intentional, I take that up to 10. That really never changes. I want the baseline for you. If 10,000 is outrageous, then that's going to be more like cardio for your body. And I'm not looking to have cardio with steps. I'm looking for you to just move your body and have good overall health. Okay. With that said, the other thing outside of habits will be drinking water. Your app now has a water tracker. Yay, Trainerize. They added it for us. So we now have a water tracker. Inside your settings, you can change that from milliliters to ounces. Okay. You have to go in on your own and go to your name at the top, and it's a drop down. It's the units of measurement. Do make sure that you have pounds instead. Like all of them could be different. You just want to make sure it's American style measurement so that you are measuring those accurately. If you leave it at milliliters, that's fine. It'll still be based off of your habits and your consistency, but you might want to go change that. The other thing that we're going to be tracking is cardio. So this is the first challenge that I've ever put in cardio. I don't love it because not everybody's on the same page. But here's the thing. I like to base a challenge off of my own results and my own journey and my own story. And we need to put a little cardio in there because we've gotten a little sedentary. And I'm going to say me, but a lot of us have. And so we're going to do something, but we're going to measure it, and I'm going to bring you into it, and I'm going to pull you out of it. Okay? So I ask that this be planned in. You're going to start with 2 days of 20 minutes of additional cardio that needs to be split from your workout. I'm going to be very clear here. This needs to be split from your workout. If you choose to do it alongside of your training, it needs to come after. Our goal is not the cardio. The cardio is on top of the weights. And if you do it before weights, you're going to spend all of your energy doing cardio and you're not going to have the energy to build muscle. Our priority here is building muscle. It is not to do cardio. The other reason that I'm including cardio is I want you to know how much this is a measured thing for your body. When we put ourselves into cardio, meaning we get into a certain target heart rate range, that is something that your body will get used to, and you will burn those calories in that moment. With strength training, with weights, you burn over a period of time because we're building muscle. We're not there to burn fat. The only reason we're doing cardio, listen up, look at me. The only reason we're doing cardio is literally for overall fitness, just to get our bodies into just moving, getting out of a sedentary way, and to help our lifts feel better. We are not doing it to punish ourselves because we went over our calorie goal. Okay? That is one surefire way you will light your hormones up and you will not get as good of progress or good as results out of this. Okay? So we're putting this in prescriptively so that we can still nail the metabolic flexibility, but adding a little bit of cardiovascular into it without having to incorporate it into weights. So during weeks 1 and 2, you're going to do 2 days of 20-minute cardio. I would even like for those to be split apart, meaning that you don't do them on Monday and Tuesday, check your boxes, and then nothing till Sunday. I'd rather it be like a Tuesday, Thursday, or maybe you choose to go Thursday, Sunday because you're a weekend warrior and your weekends are always off. So maybe you want to put it into the weekend. Okay. Whatever that might be, you're going to start with 2 days. Then we're going to do 3 days on week 3. Then we're going to do 4 days on week 4. And then we're going to come back down to 3 days in week 5. We're going to go back down to 2 days. And I'm sorry, 3 days we're going to do twice. And then in week 7 and 8, we're back down to 2 days. Like I said, I'm going to bring your body up. I'm going to take your body down. I am correlating that with your rep ranges of your weights. Okay. So on the days where we only have 2 days of cardio, your weight reps are going to be up a little bit higher. When we start getting up into higher cardio, your weight reps will come down a little bit. Okay. So that cardio is a part of the challenge. It is important. Here's how you measure what you want to do. Okay. Variety of what you want to do. I'm going to be doing stairs. I do stairs because I know it is consistent. I can measure my heart rate. I can measure the intensity that I'm going. It all stays very consistent and measurable. You don't have to do that. You could do a walk jog outside. You could do hill sprints. You could do the rower. You could do the elliptical. You could do a class, like a circuit. Okay. I'm going to tell you about those circuits. Those are inside Trainerize, and you can follow a regimented circuit along using the equipment inside of Flex if you want to do that. Okay. No matter what it is, you're going to prescriptively do that for the amount of time that I have you doing it. It's not going to ever go above 20 minutes. Okay. So this isn't like hardcore cardio, but 20 minutes is a lot on the stair stepper if you've never done it. Let me just tell you, you might have ambitions to do 20 minutes. You get on there for 3 and you might have to get down and get on the elliptical. That is normal. That's okay. Okay. We all go through that. Or like me, I'll probably start with like a 10-minute split. I'll do 10 minutes on the stairs, 10 minutes on the elliptical, and then I'll kind of build up as I go up. Because once you hit doing like 20 minutes on the stair, your body does get used to it. And it does get a little bit easier. You still probably want a good episode to watch, like something on your phone, something, because that's the time where your mind gets a whole lot stronger. Okay. That is going to be a part. Now, with this challenge, you're going to get a couple of points for it. It's going to be like, oh, so it's really you hearing me say that this is systematically something that I'm putting in and is going to benefit you. It's really to make you feel really good. I want you to get behind these little habits that you can put in and see how much we can challenge our body and get it to do more and more. But it's very specific into working something where we're not just overworking our body. We're not going to just gas in while we have motivation, because that's why people quit after 2 weeks. We're not going to be that. We're not doing anything that you can't sustain and get better and better. So as motivation gets lower, we're going to drive a little bit harder. Okay. And that's where the key to the community that we have here, the key to staying on the same page, we're all going to be working the same weight workouts the same days. All right. If you've got 3 days, I'm assuming that you're going to be Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I want us to chat about it. If your workout was hard, whatever, y'all know, like you love to cheer on people who have a hard time. So this is where the community and the accountability is really going to come into play. So for that, I would like for you to commit to using the group chat. You might be somebody that never says anything, but I'm telling you, I'm staring at every single one of you, Julia, Beth, Michaela, Lisa, Julie, Courtney, Kelly, Vivian, Denise, Michelle, Mark, Jessica. I don't know who the iPhone is. Put your face up. I can see lights. Who is that? Laura Bentley. I know you guys all have so much to add. You all have an experience. You have no idea. I've gotten to know each one of you on such a personal level. You have something to add. If you think of something that motivates you in the morning or something that got you through a tough workout, add it to our group chat. You have no idea how that might save someone later in the day, or it might really help. And then, if you want to really be gracious to this challenge and to Heather and to Flex, post about it on your social media. If you have something to share, just tag the Flex page. I'll reshare it as much as I can. But let's get people asking, like, what are they on at Flex? Like they're literally on something. What are they taking? We need some of that. I want it to be so contagious, but it's literally that spreads when it's your personal story. Not you trying to be something you're not, not you not struggling. Like, let's put it all out there. Here's a part of the journey, and we do the work. We do the work that it takes to literally silence all of the influencers telling you that you need this pill, you need this peptide, you need this exercise regimen, you need to do this kind of exercise, you need to literally be putting your body through hell, you need to be spending all these hours. Nope, we're going to silence that noise and get real loud about what we do different here. Okay, so I need your help with that. Can y'all shake your heads? Can you help me with that? Can we be doing that as we go along? The other thing now, I use social media, but you have no idea. Like social media definitely, like when I'm sharing my journey, it helps me be accountable to myself. I knew today, like, hey, people need to see what I do for prep. They need to see what I'm eating. So I literally have to get down and do that before a certain time so that I can get some stuff made. I can get some social media made, or I can go on my story. Like, let your mission be that you're going to spread positivity over these next 8 weeks. Okay. One of the habits that I'm going to have on your chart is it's just going to say gratitude. Okay. And what I want you to do is to get through these 8 weeks is to really, really question your mindset. And this is probably the most important part of the call. And I'm going to get ready to open it up for questions. So get your questions ready. Okay. The most important part of this that I feel like we need so much of right now in our world is gratitude and love. Gratitude and love. It's literally being grateful for the bodies that we have, that we can come in and we can improve them no matter what's going on in our lives. And that we understand that it doesn't take literally all of the excuses we feed ourselves, but we're going to be grateful that we have a body and what we do every day matters. What you do every single day matters. As I look around, there is a lot of chaos and there are a lot of things that we could get depressed about, or we could get upset, or we could get stressed about. But ultimately, what I want the big win to be every single week is that we nailed the gratitude. We didn't beat ourselves up. You're not going in going, oh, I hate the way my arms look in this. I hate the way my leg. That's not being grateful for the body that you're in right now, that it's healthy enough to just say yes. You're saying yes to yourself. And so every single day in the morning, I want you to get to gratitude. I put it on your checklist because I'm hoping it's a morning act. I hope it's first thing in the morning when you wake up, last thing you do before you go to bed. If nothing else goes well, I promise you that if you just commit to getting to gratitude, you will offset that grief. You can't be in both at the same time. And it is the most important thing that we need right now, besides love and kindness. We need gratitude, okay, for yourself and for your body that's able. All right. So I'm going to take question. Something that I forgot to put in, and I'm going to need to just make this an email. Or actually, if you guys would just raise your hand, who is going to do the 11-day shred to start off? So, like, if you're a part of Isogenics and you want to do an intense first 2 weeks, meaning the shakes, but we're going to do the cleanse days, will you just raise your hand so I can just visually see? If you have no idea, that's okay. If you don't know what I'm talking about, let's have a conversation today so you see. But what we're going to do during the inside the group chat is just give some motivation and just like little recipes. That's going to help everyone. But we are going to do cleanse days during the first 2 weeks, 2 days out of the week, meaning Wednesday, Thursdays. And if you don't know what cleansing is, it's just intermittent fasting. We're going to do fasting days on Wednesday and Thursday. So we're going to be really filling the chats on those days with a lot of motivation and a lot of help. I'm going to put a lot of science in there about autophagy and why we do this. It is okay, and there are no points if you choose not to do that. It is an intense way to start our challenge. You can definitely be on your own journey. Do not feel like you're missing a thing. But if you're interested and you want to do it along with the group, we are going to start the first 2 weeks with a 2 week shred, okay? Or a 2 week intense restart to our challenge, okay? And really the only thing that makes it intense are doing the 2 cleanse days on the first 2 weeks, okay? So those are back-to-back cleanse days. You can even choose to just do one cleanse day if you wanted to just incorporate fasting. I highly, highly urge you, if you don't know about fasting, autophagy, hopefully if you've come through me, I've poured it down your throat enough. But if you don't, guys, coming out of the new year, if you really want to balance your hormones, if you want to get your body back, it has zero to do with cutting calories. It's got everything to do with cleaning up your body to get it ready for what you're about to do, to help that metabolic flexibility, to put on more muscle because you get natural increases in growth hormone. We can't do that without taking growth hormone. Okay, we can't have the benefits of autophagy without putting something synthetic in our body. So it is the only way to really maximize what your body can do when it's clean, when the tank's been clean. Okay, you go clean the fish tank. You don't just keep feeding the fish. That's really what we're going to do. Okay, so our first 2 weeks. Now, what I want you to know is if you're in that group chat and you're not doing that, just ignore it. Okay, you can learn something, you can move on, but if you are going to do it, plug in. We're going to use it as a source of accountability. And again, this is the first time we've done that. So it's going to be a little learning curve. Not really sure what to expect, but I'm going to be doing it alongside of you. And I just want, if you are interested in the journey and you want to do it, I want you to see how we really work the days and just to keep each other accountable and to not, I say failing. You can't fail if you try. Okay, but into not failing or doing it right. All right, so I'm going to shut up now and give some time. I'm going to leave it on record because I know y'all have got some great questions, but this is really a time to get personal with yourself. If there's something I didn't address, please speak up. Like anything that you need for the challenge, or if you just have questions just to help yourself be more successful, ask me anything.
I had a question about the calendar on Trainerize. I don't have that option to like plug anything ahead. Mine's just a list. I don't know if everyone.
Um, what do you mean? Just like you don't have the workout option?
So if I click on calendar, I don't know if you can see.
I
It just
can, if you can put it up.
hold on, shoot. Um, it just gives. Let's see if I can get it to where it just gives like a list form, but I can't plug anything in ahead of time. It just shows what I've done. I don't know if
Okay.
that matters or not, but
I'm gonna look at that. I know you have the option. If anybody can answer that on your side, like Michaela, do you have the option to go schedule your workouts in from the calendar?
Think you have to hit appointments. Is
appointments.
that it?
No, it can't be appointments is
No.
new.
Okay.
Um, um,
And
but
I mean, I
appointments is
schedule them on
there.
my personal calendar every week. So, I mean, I do schedule them for myself, but I just didn't know if that would matter for
No.
the challenge.
Now, here's the thing. When I make the workouts, the foundational 3 days will be scheduled for Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Okay.
Okay.
Like I said, that's going to hit at like 7, 8 o'clock. I couldn't change that today. But that will hit your chart so you can look at that, but that will already be scheduled in. The
Okay.
big thing I want you to know is that you can move those. Just because I have them in on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and you need to do Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday, that's totally fine. Just know as a challenge, like we're going to be talking. Like, so if I have a note to make about your day one upper body workouts, like if I have something that I want to add, I'm going to talk about it on Monday. Like
Okay.
that.
Knowing that, you can, from this form, go to the workout, click the three dots at the top corner, and click move to another day.
Okay. I
Also,
do know on the
Julia,
interface, so on the computer, you can see all of it and you should be able to drop and drag. Okay. So, like, I know on my side, on the computer side, so if you've never looked at the computer interface, it does give you a lot
Mhm.
more options. Same with like copying your food. Sometimes it's just easier on the computer. Courtney, what were you saying?
So an easy way to do the calendar, I just did it. So I normally do it from the coach's side. So my view is what yours is, but I did it for my personal. If you go to the calendar, it is a list like Julia's saying. However, if you click on a day, I clicked on a random day next week, and then it pops up all your options. I selected cardio, walking, and it automatically added it for that day.
Great. Okay. That's what you should have. Now you if you don't see the weights there, it's just because you're waiting on the challenge weights to be in there. Same with like habits, but for sure, like even changing your walking habit, like y'all can control a lot of that and you can go ahead and load it in. If your step count, like if the number needs to change specifically for you, please let me know within this first week. Okay, because you will be measured off of that. Now, that's just a checkbox. The habits are just check boxes. But if you need something to change or you want me to add another habit, I will do that. You just need to let me know. But yes, you should have a list of everything. And I do want you to go ahead and see your weight workouts ahead of time, see it for the week, and then also see your cardio. The reason I say see it is really like if you look a week at a time, you're not going to be as stressed if something comes up during your week because you're going to really have a preview of everything for the week. I also like, I mean, you can go in there and put your appointments in there. Like you have a hair appointment, a nail, like something that you know you need to avoid. See it all at one time. That'll really help the habits. Thank you, Julie, for that question. I am still going to go look behind you and just make sure that y'all can easily find that. But do know that you can move those days around on your end. So if you don't see that, then make sure you message me. But while I'm waiting on the next question, another thing is there is a message that it is a inbox feature inside the app. Please, if you're going to talk to me about your journey, keep it inside message inside the app. That keeps me super organized with your specific journey. If you ask me in the gym, I'm probably gonna it's probably gonna slip. Like something's gonna slip, something's gonna give. I've tried really hard to stay organized there, but I like if I'm not putting it straight into my computer, I'm gonna forget. So even if we've talked about it, I do ask that you just keep notes between us going back and forth inside that message thread. But it's also how you can get an answer from me pretty fast. Sometimes you message me on social media, sometimes on text. I look at my coaching app every single day and I have that set of messages. So I always try within 24 to 48 hours, unless you're like an official check-in person, nothing's changing there. Obviously, y'all already know that.
Could you explain the cleanse day a little bit more in detail? Like, do we need to order anything special? Um,
That's a great question. So yes, if you want to do the cleanse using the Isogenics products, you'll need the cleanse for life. Okay. And then whatever approved snacks. If you want to do it like a water fast, again, that's definitely going to be tougher and that you will have different symptoms than using the cleanse for life and that the cleanse for life does help boost your blood sugar a little bit and it'll help give you that added energy. And then the approved snacks are things like the bone broth or the energy bites. Those are, there's a list and you get 10 points. The main part of cleanse day is doing that cleanse for life 4 times spread throughout the day. So you're doing 2 scoops of cleanse for life or 2 ounces if you have the liquid of cleanse for life 4 times throughout the day. If you choose to do just water, I recommend having water and an organic bone broth. Kettle and Fire is a good bone broth, but I recommend that you have that just to go alongside. Um, it's still not is you're still gonna have a tougher time, but it absolutely can be done. Okay. So that's really the big thing. The other thing about the Cleanse for Life is it's also helping your liver and kidney do some extra detox cleanup. So it is flushing through that to make you pee more, and getting those toxins out. So there is some science behind using that as well as it just will make you feel better. I have several canisters, like six, as far as built up. So if you guys did not order and you need that right away for this week, just send me a message and it'll be first come, first serve. You're welcome to get that from me. Other than that, though, that's really it to the cleanse day. The other thing with the cleanse day, Michaela, that we'll put inside the chat is the schedule, and the approved points. So the schedule is literally drinking that Cleanse for Life 4 times throughout the day, and then when to use those snacks, and then however the point value behind those snacks, because it's like the old Weight Watchers point system. You get so many points for each snack. Okay. Did that answer your question? Okay, awesome.
Thank you.
All right, Laura, what you got, babe? I just gave you a little prompt to unmute. Scroll your phone to the other, like scroll it to the left, I think, and that'll give you the menu at the bottom.
I got it.
There you
My
go.
phone is cracked on the bottom, so
Oh.
it's being crazy. No, my question was when you're protein pacing and you say take a break, how long is that? What is the time period between?
That's a great question. 2.5, 3 hours.
Okay.
Okay. With the upper end being no more than 4. We
Okay.
also don't want to wait too late, which is why I want you eating within the first hour. Is a lot of times you'll eat in that first hour and then you'll see your mistake is that you go from breakfast and then it's dinner time before you know it.
Gotcha.
Okay. So we definitely don't want to go over 4 hours. Either way, you won't get in your protein. Nobody here on this call is below 120 grams of protein. Okay. So you won't get it in. With like Mark being on here on the higher end of 200 grams, like you definitely can't get that in. We also don't want to eat over 40 to 50 grams of protein in one sitting. Okay. Your body will kind of like waste that away, to the extra without getting too far into the science of that.
Okay.
Great question. Oh, these are good questions.
Now I
Anything?
can't mute back.
That's okay. We're kind of open for them now.
Heather.
Yes, Beth.
Right. So when you do the cleanse days, are you supposed to put that in your app, the food? How do you do that when you're doing all that cleansing to get?
So that's a great question. So here's the problem with the app. Okay, well, let me address the problem and how you do that. If you're doing Cleanse for Life, you can always put your Cleanse for Life in there 4 times and let that be your tracking. So that way you know you did a cleanse day. If you're wanting the points, like if you're dead set on every day being yellow,
points. I just want to know if I'm supposed to put that in.
Because you will be under. Obviously, when you don't hit the goal, you don't get your daily nutrition points. You get your daily nutrition points when you're within 10 grams of your goal and it turns yellow. It's gray if you don't hit your goal, and you're not going to get the points for hitting your daily nutrition goal. So on those cleanse days, obviously you won't hit that goal. You're welcome to go lie and go fill it out as if, and that way you get the points, because obviously you want the points for doing a good job on cleanse day. So it's completely up to you and just how driven you are to be on that leaderboard. And I know like there's a lot on here that will be that way. So just lie and put it in, and you can put yourself a note as to what your cleanse days were. So with us all doing it that way. And then after I do the 2 weeks of cleanse days, so when I do week 1, 2 cleanse days, week 2, 2 cleanse days, then I'm just going to do a standard 1 day a week like I typically do. Okay. Again, I'm giving a ton of leeway. It's completely up to you. And I do believe in most cases that you're on your individual journey there. So whatever you do, all I ask is that you only do 2 weeks of back to back. Okay, so no more 2 days after that. You need to take it down to 1 day. And I would even say if you do back to back the entire 8 weeks, now that needs to suffice for the entire 8 weeks. Okay, we won't do that 2 months in a row. We're just going to do it the first month. And then from thereafter, if you want to keep up the cleansing, do it every week, just like I do. I will be putting in more. These are great questions about cleanse day, and I feel like we need a little bit more information there. So I will keep that in mind, and I will make sure in the group chat you know all about cleanse day, and I put some good resourceful videos in there for you. Many of you are inside my other coaching app, Nurtured Life, inside Facebook. If you're in Nurtured Life, you can literally go to the search feature inside the group and just type in cleanse day. You will see me in a pink tank top. That's the best video I have getting you ready for cleanse day. But there are many videos, resources there, as well as all the schedule. And it's the first thing that comes up. It's inside the featured part of that group, of that Facebook group inside Nurtured Life. Okay. But great questions there. I know we have many that are not on this call, so I have recorded it. I will be sending this out as soon as it downloads. I'll be sending it through email. Anything that's very important, like any kind of recordings or calls or handouts that I give, I will send it through email, but I'll mostly be using that group chat inside the app. So please make sure you turn on your notifications to get all the notifications. And I just ask that you have gratitude around, like, if your notifications are going off or whatever, like for 8 weeks, you need the accountability. You need to be annoyed with the messages. This needs to be the forefront of your mind, and that we want to make some lifestyle changes. Okay. So make sure that you have those little things on so that you get the help. The other thing is, no question's a bad question. If you feel yourself sliding or slipping or whatever, one, grab an accountability partner out of this group. Grab somebody that you can relate to. Grab somebody you haven't met yet. And just say, hey, I need a little extra added accountability. The other thing is, just don't let yourself go more than 2 days. If you find that you're doing something and it's starting to snowball, don't let it go more than 2 days. Just stop. And that way we're not beating up yourself from past happenings or anything that you haven't done. Because I'm just going to remind you that it's more important that you just start and do what you can do rather than focusing on the things that we can't do. Okay. And what you can do is, you do have a lot of resources here with great coaching. You do have all of the answers at your disposal. The only thing you have to do is be an active participant in your own changes and your own lifestyle. Okay. We ready? Y'all ready? We got all the questions answered. You hit the ground running. I'm like big ready, but big ready to just be consistent. Nothing special. We're not doing anything extraordinary. You don't have to completely quit your life. You don't have to put things off to different times. We're going to show you how much balance you can have and still get results. Okay? So let's make sure that we stay together every single week until we hit that 4-week mark. And then we're going to rally together. And hey, it's Midway. And we're really going to pump it up. But the main goal is that you develop habits that never stop. Habits that never stop, because this is the key to having a healthy lifestyle. All right. All right, you guys. So excited for you guys. I can't wait to see you in the gym tomorrow, all eager, ready to go, ready to have these workouts. Your booty's going to be on, well, your booty won't be on fire tomorrow. Your arms are going to be on fire tomorrow. We're going to feel so good. And we're going to run around it and brag all about it. So thank you guys for being a part of this amazing community. I love you guys so much and just appreciate all that you pour into it, into yourself. And I look forward to a great 8 weeks. I'll see you soon. Bye, guys.